you, Wendy. I appreciate it. Hi, everybody. So today we're going to start talking about communication product management, crafting your product vision, strategy, and roadmap. So today we're going to look at a couple of different things. One is the key role of product managers in crafting the product vision, strategy, and roadmap. How to tie your strategy to your roadmap. How to plan and prioritize your roadmap. How to build your roadmap, and how to communicate your roadmap. These are all essential topics in product management and in business. So let's dive right in. So the product roadmap. So now as a product manager, you are basically at the intersection of a lot of critical information in your organization. And you're in a unique position to define success of your product. Now, even if your culture in your organization is hierarchical and bureaucratic, in the event it's like that, you still have significant influence over the choices in your organization and in your roadmap, and what your organization can do for the life cycle of your product. And a key part of that influence is a roadmap that you create as a product manager. So what are some of the characteristics of successful PMs? So number one, as a PM, your role is to set the long-term product strategy and manage the roadmap. So you need to interact with a broad range of stakeholders and departments to make your product successful. Now, to be an effective PM, you have to be transparent about your prioritization and your roadmap process. You need to be able to say no, but explain why in terms that stakeholders understand. You need to be able to prioritize ruthlessly while balancing the needs of customers and stakeholders. You need to bring evidence-based decision-making to all communication. This could be qualitative user research or hard data and analysis. And lastly, you need to be metrics-driven while determining which opportunities to pursue and which ones to not to pursue. So, and this is where the product roadmap comes in. So what is a product roadmap and what is it not? A roadmap is not simply a list of features arranged in some prioritized order, and nor is it the product backlog. I'm sure you've heard of the product backlog. So it's a roadmap is not a list of features, and it's not the product backlog. The purpose of the roadmap is to communicate the why behind what you're building and what your organization is building. It's basically a plan for your strategy. And it's also a high-level visual summary that maps out the vision and strategic direction of your product over time. So the goals of the roadmap are to, number one, describe the vision and the strategy. Number two, to provide a guiding document for executing on the strategy. Number three, to get internal stakeholders in alignment. Number four, to facilitate discussions of the different options that the organization has and you have as a product manager, and the different scenarios that you need to plan for. Number five, to communicate progress and the status of your product development as you execute on your product vision. And number six, to help communicate your strategy to external stakeholders, and in some cases also customers, especially in the B2B case. Now, the roadmap, it does not include specific resource requirements or man hours or person hours or story points or other details. Those details on the execution of the roadmap are typically in your project management solution, like Jira or Asana, etc. Also, the other thing to keep in mind here is that roadmaps are not limited to just products. You can have roadmaps for technology teams, marketing teams, and other teams as well. They can all benefit from communicating their plan with the roadmap. So, and in a typical organization, these roadmaps might be combined with the product roadmap, which we're going to look at today, to provide a more comprehensive view of the broader organizational strategic plan. So what does the roadmap planning and communication process look like? Now, it's important for PMs and product managers to think of the roadmap as a living document, rather than a plan that is set in stone. And it should be regularly discussed and prioritized, estimated, updated, and shared. So in a way, as you can see on the slide, it's cyclical. So you need to set strategic goals. You need to gather initiatives and organize them. You need to prioritize these initiatives, make a roadmap proposal, communicate the roadmap, and so on. So what does the product vision look like? Now, being able to envision what a new product or the next version of an existing product looks like, that is essential for us to get there. The vision acts as the overarching goal, which basically galvanizes different people and guides different people in the organization together, and is a product's reason for being. From there on, demoing product increments to customers and users in the sprint review meetings, for example, and releasing software early and often validates and refines your product vision. So now, an effective product vision, it answers the following questions. Number one, who is going to buy the product? Who is going to use the product? And they may not necessarily be the same person or the same persona. In other words, who is a target customer and who is a target user, and are they different? For example, you might have a product for kids where the user is your child, but the customer is a parent. Hopefully that makes sense. The other question is, which needs will the product address? What value does the product add? Which product attributes are critical for meeting the needs that are selected, and therefore for the success of your product? What will the product roughly look like and do? How does the product compare against existing products, both from competitors and within your company as well? And what are the product's unique selling points or unique value proposition? And what's the target price? Also, how will the company make money from selling the product? What are the sources of revenue and what is a business model? And lastly, is the product feasible? Can the company develop and sell the product? Now, if you plan to use a new product as a springboard for changing your business model, this information should be reflected in the product vision. Now, if you take a look at Apple's iPod, for example, and iTunes as an example, back in the day, Apple came to dominate the digital music market by creating a good product, which was the iPod, and they wrapped it in a great business model. And they basically had a tight integration of the iPod with iTunes, which was and is the company's online music store. And what that did is, it not only did it provide a convenient way to purchase music online, but it also locked in the customer. And this basically allowed Apple to change the rules of the game from selling music online, basically helped them to sell music online at competitive low prices. And the company Apple was making small margins on the music, but large ones on the MP3 players.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.